If you love royal dramas, big costumes, and powerful families fighting for the throne, this is for you. Today, we're looking at the world of Kuruluş 2025, and we're doing what fans love most, comparing the cast and the drama with who they are in real life. The show is packed with beys, sultans, warriors, and princesses, and the 2025 guest cast has really turned up the heat. On screen, they look like they were born into royalty, but off-screen, they're very different people. We'll go through them one by one, the same way you'd go through a royal family tree. From the warriors and rulers to the princesses and powerful women. We'll keep the focus on Kuruluş 2025, the characters they play in the drama, and how their real-life image compares. No gossip invented out of thin air. Just a closer look at how these actors transform from normal people into royal-level figures on screen. Let's start with number 1, Barış Valez as Shabe. In Kuruluş 2025, Barış steps into the role of Shabe, a character who feels like he's come straight out of royal court. Intense, disciplined, and always surrounded by tension and politics. In the drama, he carries himself with this almost untouchable aura, like someone who is always one step ahead of everyone else. But in real life, Barış Valez is far more relaxed, away from the grand sets and heavy costumes. You're not going to see him in armor or formal robes. Off camera, he dresses casual, laughs more easily, and looks like someone you could actually sit down and talk to, not an unreachable noble. At number 2, we have Baynur as Mahassine. In the series, Mahassine comes across as one of those strong, royal women who could easily stand beside a king or bey and never be overshadowed. The way Baynur plays her, she's sharp, watchful, and absolutely not to be underestimated. On screen, she looks like she walks straight out of a palace. Layers of fabric, jewelry, and that classic Turkish historical drama elegance. In real life, Baynur is much more contemporary. She's still stylish, but you're more likely to see her in modern clothes, living a normal life rather than ruling over anyone. The contrast between her royal-looking character and her off-duty vibe is exactly what makes these in drama versus in life comparisons so interesting. Number 3 brings us to Salt as Flavius. In Kuruluş 2025, Flavius feels like the foreign noble, the outsider who brings in a different energy to the royal and tribal dynamics. Salt gives the character a very commanding presence. The costumes, the hair, the posture, everything is built to look imposing. When you see Flavius on screen, he looks almost larger than life, like someone used to power and strategy. But Salt in real life is much simpler and softer in appearance. Take away the armor and production design, and you get a normal, approachable person who doesn't live with that same constant tension. That's the magic of these historical dramas. One actor, 2 completely different worlds. At number 4, we have Brux Egan as Sars. In the drama, Sars is the kind of character you expect to either be in battle or in a serious council meeting. There's a roughness to him, a warrior-like strength that fits perfectly into the Kuruluş 2025 universe of beys and fighters. Brux Egan brings weight and intensity to the role, and the costume department does the rest, giving him that lives by the sword look. In real life, though, Brux doesn't walk around like a warrior. Off camera, he looks much more like a standard modern actor, with everyday fashion, lighter expressions, and a far less intimidating presence. The change from Sars to Brux is a complete shift from battlefield energy to normal life. Number 5 is Take as Ebe. Ebe in the show feels like one of those grounded, respected figures in the community. Someone people turn to for guidance or support. The character's look is traditional, with carefully chosen clothes that fit the historical setting and the royal court world of Kuruluş 2025. Take's performance makes Ebe believable in that era. Away from the set, Take is a different person. No layered period wardrobe, no heavy fabrics, just a normal, present-day look. That real-life version is much closer to what you'd expect from a modern Turkish actor, not a person living in the time of beys and sultans. For number 6, we have Faruk Eren as Alan Bey. This one is a big one for fans who love royal-style characters. Alan Bey comes across as noble, proud, and deeply tied to questions of honor and leadership. Faruk Eren fully embodies that, with strong posture, intense expressions, and those richly detailed costumes that scream power and status. In Kuruluş 2025, Alan Bey could easily be mistaken for an actual historical leader, but Faruk in real life doesn't carry that same constant seriousness. You take him out of the long coats, the belts, the weapons, and suddenly he looks much more like a creative professional. Someone you'd see at a film festival or on a casual day out, not in the middle of a royal council. Number 7 is Jesper. In the drama, the character Jesper fits smoothly into the world of Kuruluş 2025, surrounded by the same royal courts, palace intrigues, and tribal politics as everyone else. On screen, there's that same old world look. Traditional clothes, styled hair, and a measured way of speaking that matches the time period. In real life, Jesper is far from that environment. No turbans, headpieces, or historical accessories. Just a modern image that belongs in 2025, not in the age of beys. The difference between the on-screen atmosphere and the off-screen reality is huge, and that's exactly what fans love seeing. At number 8, we have Belkin Şimşek as Gun. In Kuruluş 2025, Gun is written and styled like someone who lives in a hard world. There's grit, tension, and the sense that danger is never too far away. Belkin's performance gives Gun that layered, slightly unpredictable feel that always works well in royal and historical dramas. But away from the show, Belkin Şimşek looks nothing like this tough medieval character. No worn-in leather, no traditional armor, no dust and dirt from long journeys. Instead, you get present-day look, clean and casual, often smiling and far less intense. Number 9 is Jane Attack as Kara Halley. This is another standout presence in the series. In the drama, Kara Halley looks like a man who has seen war, politics, and betrayal. There's something very heavy about the way he presented on screen. Jane Attack leans into that with serious expressions, powerful body language, and that full historical costume that transforms him into a figure straight out of a royal chronicle. In real life, Jane is much more at ease. Without the beard shaping the headgear and the layers of costume, he looks like any modern actor working in Turkish television. Stylish, relaxed, and much more approachable than Kara Halley ever seems in the show. At number 10, we have Selly E.T. In Kuruluş 2025, Selly's character feels right at home in the royal and tribal world the drama builds. Another face framed by historical styling, another voice woven into the politics and emotional battles happening around the throne. On screen, Selly looks rooted in the past. In real life, though, Selly E.T. is fully part of this generation. Off camera, you're looking at modern outfits, regular hair, and the kind of easygoing energy you just don't see from a character in the series. Number 11 gives us Tevfik Ermin as F-Type. F-Type feels like one of those side characters who still holds a lot of weight in a royal drama, maybe as an advisor, warrior, or elder in the tribe. Tevfik Ermin uses his features and performance to blend into the Kuruluş 2025 world so well that it's almost hard to imagine him outside of it. But once you see him offset, that illusion breaks. The historical beard styling, the big coats, the period look, all of that disappears. In daily life, Tevfik looks much more like a modern professional, someone who could walk down a city street without turning heads for looking like he stepped out of another century. Number 12 is Numan Tikar as Abdul Bey. Just from the name, Abdul Bey sounds like a major figure, and in the drama, he comes across with that sense of authority. Numan Tikar plays him with seriousness and dignity, the kind you expect from someone who's used to making important decisions. In the Kuruluş 2025 universe of beys and royal families, Abdul Bey fits right in. Off-screen, though, there's no Bey title attached. Numan is just Numan, dressed in comfortable modern clothes, smiling more freely, and far less formal than his character ever appears. At number 13, we have Stan Furley as Esp. In the series, Esp is woven into the historical setting with the same careful work from costume, makeup, and direction, making them look like they belong in that age. Stan Furley gives the role a sense of life that fits perfectly into the royal and tribal atmosphere. But take away all that and in real life, Stan Furley looks like any other actor this era. Phone in hand, modern haircut, casual styles, completely removed from the heavy, layered wardrobe of the show. Number 14 is Senna Merch's Halime. In the drama, Halime is the kind of female character who carries quiet strength. Senna Merch plays her with a calm and seriousness that makes Halime feel like a woman who understands both family and politics, which is essential in a royal-style drama like Kuruluş 2025. The costumes give her that conservative, traditional beauty you see in historical Turkish series. In real life, Senna is much freer in her expression. Her look is more flexible, more modern, more in line with fashion today than the covered, traditional style you see from Halime on screen. Number 15 is Esme. In Kuruluş 2025, Esme becomes part of the large network of characters who help build that royal universe. The intrigues, the alliances, the betrayals. On screen, the character seems deeply rooted in that historical environment. In everyday life, Esme is simply themselves. No elaborate hair, no historical robes, just modern clothes and a life that looks nothing like what you see in the drama. At number 16, we have Mek as N in the drama. N feels like a focused, intense character. Mek brings a seriousness to the role that plays well with the show's emphasis on power and survival. When you see N on screen, it's all about survival, loyalty, and duty. In real life, though, Mek doesn't live under that constant pressure. Off camera, there's room for normal hobbies, modern fashion, and everyday routines, far from the battlefield and courts you see in Kuruluş 2025. Number 17 is Mel as Have. In Kuruluş 2025, Have has that grounded presence you need in a world full of kings, beys, and warriors. Mel gives the role a steady energy. The character looks built for that period, from the way they dress to the way they move. Take away all the historical touches, though, and Mel is just another modern actor, blending into the present day with casual clothing and a personality that seems much more relaxed and has constant seriousness in the show. Number 18 brings us to Merabet as Nilüfer. This is one of the more obviously royal characters. Nilüfer sounds and looks like nobility. In Kuruluş 2025, she's styled like a woman of rank. Headpieces, richly detailed fabrics, a posture that signals prestige. Merabet embodies it so well that during the drama, it's easy to forget she's an actress and not an actual historical princess or noblewoman. But in real life, Mahassine is not walking around like Nilüfer. Off screen, she looks like a present-day woman, using modern fashion and living a normal life, not one in palaces and courts. Number 19 might be the most obviously royal of them all. Alba's as Princess Esbak. This is pure royalty on screen. Princess Esbak is styled and written exactly the way fans of royal family series love. Graceful, elevated, wrapped in beautiful costumes with delicate jewelry and a calm, regal expression. Alba's plays her with that blend of softness and strength that fits a princess in a turbulent world. But when the cameras stop, Alba steps out of that role completely. In real life, there's no crown, no formal gowns, no royal protocol. She looks like a modern, everyday woman who just happens to play a princess for a living. Finally, at number 20, we have Leah's F in the drama. F is one more important piece in the complex Kuruluş 2025 universe, connected to the same royal and tribal tensions as the others. On screen, the character belongs fully in that historical period. Outside of the show, Lee's life is rooted in today's world. No historical garments, no stylized hair, just the kind of normal look you'd expect from anyone walking down the street or posting on social media. So when you put it all together, that's the real magic of Kuruluş 2025 and these guest stars. In the drama, they look like they were born into nobility, raised around thrones, and destined to wear crowns, armor, and heavy robes. In real life, they're modern Turkish actors and actresses, living completely different lives from the royal and warrior characters they bring to the screen. For fans of royal family news, Turkish historical dramas, and powerful dynasties, this kind of in drama versus in real life, look at the cast is always fascinating. You get to see how much work goes into transforming Barry's Valles into Shabe, Boehner into Malonhattan, Farouk Aaron into Alan Bey, Merabet into Nilüfer, and Alba's into Princess Esbak. It's a reminder that behind every royal-looking figure on screen, there's a real person living far away from palaces and battlefields. If you follow this kind of content, keep an eye on the Kuruluş 2025 cast, because these guest actors bring exactly the kind of royal drama energy that viewers can't get enough of